Hello everyone, and welcome to Jumperman Tech, where we specialize in HVAC, we do everything DIY, and today we're going to be taking apart a fan coil system and cleaning it. Thank you to everyone tuning to Jumperman Tech. It is quite a beautiful day out here in New York City. We just landed a big job in this hotel to clean every single fan coil system in the building. So, just so you guys know, they're in terrible shape. It's going to be a fun one. This is a McQuay system. This is a 2-pipe fan coil unit with electrical heaters inside. And McQuay is no longer around. Daikin actually bought them over. Let's go ahead and turn the thermostat off and turn the power off to the system. Got everything protected, floor protected. System right here. Off. Listen closely, I heard the valve actuator close, but we're also going to be doing testing. I see a switch here on the side. Okay, turn that off. We'll also display here. That's a good sign. We'll double check for power inside and we will begin. Hope this light doesn't bother you guys, because currently only have one battery for my M12. My light is over there because what happened? Fell down an air shaft. Rest in peace. So we're gonna start by taking off this cover here. At the moment we have 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. I can tell you right now, this cover is not on properly. This needs to be tucked inside. Oh well. Let's go ahead. Take these off. Okay. That's off. Pretty bad, but not as bad as some. Okay, over here, got a filter. Looks okay from that side, but I could just tell that thing is filthy. Are they changing these things? Ooh, Jesus. Bruh, this thing was blue. Oh my God. I don't know if you can see, still see a little bit of blue in there. This thing is packed, man, come on. It would be nice if we're facing this way, but anyways, as far as this, there's, you can see the screw from here actually. See that? So coming this way, there's 2 screws, 2 Phillips screws. So you get a Phillips screw, you could pull off one and kind of slide this out, because we're gonna drop this whole blower assembly. So let's get our screwdriver and get this going. Guys, this is the best screwdriver I think I've ever had. It's freaking amazing. It's the HVAC Impact 11-in-1. So not only can you use this as a screwdriver and has all these different functions, you could attach it to your drill, man. This thing is fire. I'll show you guys an idea. You see this? This thing all comes together so you can attach it to your drill, and it's impact rated. That is pretty amazing, and it's made by Klein Tools. You already know that's a name you can trust. Take the screw out, and honestly, you can kind of just bend this a little bit this way. So now, when you want to drop this blower, we have space to bring it down because it is covers. This right here in the middle is going to be your electrical panel. Take off the screws. I mean, look at this. What is this? Good on one screw. So you need these days, huh? And here we go, spaghetti for breakfast. All right, the definition of spaghetti wiring. Oof, these are fun to troubleshoot. Anyways, we gotta take down the fan. So you gotta find these wires. Jesus. You gotta find these wires for the fan motor and cut them out. I'll tell you what though, what's good is that they actually used wire nuts this time. Look, they actually have wire nuts. Never mind. Neutral wire, just straight tape. It's just straight tape. Okay, so what I do to make this faster, of course, trace out the wiring. Find where they're connected to, and I taped it with some blue tape. This neutral's a little hiding away. What you're gonna do is snip off the wire. Let's say this one right here, the blue one. We're gonna cut that follow the same process for the other ones. So I cut this blue here, but I still have it connected to the wire here. So I know when I come back with the same color blue, I'm gonna connect it here, right? This one, I'm gonna cut the white, where I know it's still connected with white. That's free, right? This is free. And the red one and the black come right here. But they're still, look, I got them free, right? I got them free, I got the wires free, but the color of the wire is still on with the wire nut. So you know the wires go right here when they come back, right? And that's a beautiful thing. These wires not even in there properly. What the heck is going on here? What the heck is this? Who ran this thing like this? Bruh. Alright. We're cutting that. I'm holding the camera in one hand, so a little bit rough right now. But don't worry about that. Cutting that, we're gonna fix that up. We're gonna be able to close that cover. So now our wires are free. Why is there so many wires? Because it's a 3-speed motor. White, and it's 120 volts. White is neutral. Black is your hot line and most likely high speed. Red and blue. I think red is low speed, blue is medium in a lot of cases, and then green is your ground. It's just grounded to the case of the motor there. And I guess there's a ground wire connected to the system. And from here we could bring down the blower. The only thing is that it might be a little bit tricky to see, but it's because of the angle. But look, over here, this whole assembly sits on this metal plate. One screw here, one screw there. And on this side is one screw there and one screw over there. So you take off those 4 screws, and then on top of it, there's like a hook. So you're kind of gonna push it up, wiggle it out a little bit, and this whole thing's gonna come down. Okay, one more screw to take out. But you see, it's still sitting in there because it's hooked. So you're kind of gonna lift it up a little, wiggle this thing out. There we go. And this whole thing comes down. What the heck? This cover's not on right. And this blade is barely hitting. Wow. Wow. Alright, so over here, that's your electrical heater. And behind there is the coil. It's kind of dirty, but to be honest with you, it's not as bad as others. It's not as bad as others. Alright, anyways, as far as this heater, okay, you gotta pull it out if you wanna clean this coil. So you got 2 wires going there, line and neutral. And you take a needle nose, line, and then the other one out, neutral. 1 screw here, 1 screw here, and it comes out. Pull that out. Okay, press this down. Hold on the heater with this last screw. Get that out. Gotta tilt this at an angle. And we're gonna pull this out. That's it. Alright, that's the coil. Yeah, it is kind of dirty, but it ain't as bad as some of them I've seen. Seriously. Alright, got this cover here. Clearly not on right, because it's hitting the blade. Okay, 2 screws. Pop it out. Let's see. Okay. If the shaft is just stuck, you got a bad motor. Oh, look at this. Part of this blade is actually broken. And it really is dirty. Anyways, this is like a resilient mount. There's like 2 screws here you could just like loosen up. First off, the ground wire is here. Take that out. That's loose. Loosen these things up here. And it pops right off. Let me give you a closer look. Here's that little clip. Just gonna loosen this up. Make sure I got it loose enough. I got to loosen it up a little more. Pop it out. This motor's free. Yeah, these blades are pretty bad. You can see the difference. Oof. Maybe I'll give you guys a picture so you guys can see, but they are pretty bad. Definitely messing with airflow. The heater is pretty dusty too. You know, every time you turn this thing on, you smell like something's burning, and that's the dust off these heaters. Unreal. Size of these covers. I mean, that's pretty thick. Inside here too. Oh my gosh. Can't see it though, it's a smiley face. But yeah, this stuff is thick, man. Okay, it's got my needle nose here. I'm just gonna scratch this so I know which side I'm gonna put back. There's a little clip in here. Just gonna squeeze it. And that's it. That's all that's holding this thing. As far as a shaft, if you had, in this case you don't have space, you would sand down the shaft and try to pull it out, maybe use a tool, but a lot of these come out by hand. Let's see. Does it? Oh, a lot of these blades are broken. Alright, that doesn't come out. Plastic blades, man. Alright. Get a little flat and kind of smack it out, it'll probably come out. Okay, I'm just gonna push this here. Okay, right there, popped it out. Alright, we got a slop sink here. I'm gonna hit this thing with some water pressure. Turn that on if you want. Press on this. Make a lot more pressure. Let's rinse off this blade, get all that dust out of there. If you wanted to, you could also brush it while you hit it with some water. Get some of those tougher stains out. And that really helps. Pretty much looks like this all over the unit. We're pretty much just gonna take a rag, wipe all that down. If you want, maybe wipe it with some kind of chemical cleaner, but honestly water would do, or even if it's dry it's fine. I'm gonna wipe all that down. We're gonna use the brush to brush on all the dirt up here, clean all that, brush down and wipe down everything inside that area. Here we go. Whew. All the harder areas, I'm gonna use a brush to get into all the crevices and stuff like that. All right, especially for the motor too, to get inside all these little tight areas. We're pretty much brushing everything down, and it's a ton of stuff to brush. Talking about all the covers. You don't want this dust in here because then it's going to get pulled into the fan, then into the coil, into the electric heater,
And with all that dust, it actually becomes a fire hazard. So, come on. A little bit of love here and there. These new will be fine, but this thing hasn't been maintained in a very long time, as you can see. Look at that. Just a little bit of that. Even this installation. Yes. I'm gonna wipe down there too. It already looks different. What a difference from everything. Nice and clean. That's a beautiful thing right there. All right. Let's assemble this all back together. I mean, even the insulation on that is clean. That's beautiful. About time. Let's pay close attention here. See, this is a round, the shaft for this motor is round, but pay attention, one side of it's flat. Right here is flat, right? See that? So you're gonna wanna find out which side of the blower goes back, and you're gonna match that up. Just slide that in there. If you wanna make things easier, sand this area down, then push it in. And we're just gonna get this like in place for now. We're gonna secure it after. Now that we have the blade inside, it should fit, at least just to get in this area. We're gonna adjust the blade afterwards. We're gonna get this in the middle here to sit on the bracket properly. Right there. Okay. And then we're gonna put these clips on. Okay, I'm just gonna hook this on here. I'm gonna go on this side first and then show you a closer look up after. You're literally just gonna have everything centered. Hook this on and tighten it. Okay. Little ground screw from the casing of the motor to the frame holder. Cool. See, the center of here is sitting on the metal here, centered. And you're gonna take this. All right, there's an opening here and opening here. I'm doing this with one hand, so you're pretty much just gonna hook that in here. Go around, get this one in place. Right there. See, it sits in here and in here. Everything's even. And you're just gonna tighten down this screw right here. All right, tighten it down. Motor's mounted. Let's take this cover and mount this back in place. All right, just pretty much just put everything back the same way you found it, unless you found it wrong. All right, I'm gonna get that and put 2 screws in. All right, one in. There we go. Then you're gonna flip this around and you're gonna look in here. And you're gonna want your blade even from this side. See the little opening? It's even on this side. So when it spins, it doesn't hit anything. This is actually perfect. Since this is good, you can then put this little locking ring. You basically just squeeze this and then put that on the blade and it kind of holds onto the shaft. I don't really like that idea, but it works. Take a needle nose like this, squeeze it, it expands, put it on the shaft, let go, and it tightens down on it. Just took off this little cover here. This is a capacitor. This motor says it's rated for 3 microfarads. So I'm gonna isolate it. Usually one wire does it, but if you're not sure, just take off both. Yeah, it's tight on there. Just take off both. Put your meter to 3 microfarads and check for your capacitance. You're gonna put 1 lead on each terminal. 2.8 microfarads. That's a 3 microfarad capacitor, and you'll get away with it. It'll work, but considering how everything is left, it wouldn't be a bad idea to change that just to have something good for the future. I'm gonna let it be for now. Whatever. Let's go ahead and put these wires back. This motor assembly is ready to go. Here's the electric heater. This is basically an overload. I'll take off one of these wires just to isolate it. You're gonna check across this switch, make sure it's closed, and you're gonna check across this, which is the coil. See that? That's the heater, the spring that's going around. You wanna make sure that there's continuity between both. Put my meter to resistance, it reads continuity at the same time. Touch the leads. We got a beep. You're gonna wanna hear a beep across both. All right, that's good. Mine's reads resistance at the same time. All right, and across here. Okay, 14 ohms. I know across these heaters, 14 ohms is good. All right, that checks out. As far as before, you had that one power wire coming into one side of the thermal overload right here, and then neutral goes in the bottom, so the power comes in here. Let me move my camera so I kind of explain that. So the red wire comes in this terminal here, comes into our safety control. Out of the safety control, it goes to one side of the heater, right? One side right here. Then it goes through and back out here to neutral. So if it overheats, this opens up and it doesn't send the power in to the heater, so you're safe. All right, so that's where the red and white wire went. It's a hot line, and neutral is a 120 volt system. And yeah, these components are ready to go. Let's just do a little bit of cleaning up there. Remember I said that I had to wipe everything down, which we did, and we're gonna hit that coil a little bit, condensate pan, make sure the drain is clean, and this is pretty much as thorough as it gets. All right, we're gonna take our brush, and we're gonna brush this thing down to start. Some of them are caked up so bad. This one's not that bad. Got a little portable pressure washer. This is the Subco Porta Blaster. Pretty cool machine. Alright. Alright, let's do it. Alright. Hit it. Make sure that condensate pan is clean and all. Alright, clean a condensate pan and everything on there is an unbelievable amount of dirt. That looks pretty clean. I want to show you guys a picture of what I seen another one. It was absolutely insane. That was what I just recommended. I'm like, man, every single unit in this building is terrible. You guys gotta see that.
Damn!
Everything here is full of dust. Let's see what we can do. That just looks like a much nicer home for our unit. Alright. I hope you guys would even be able to see this. It's in an extremely tight spot. Also, by the way, there's a drain line in here. I forced the water that I was cleaning the coil with. I forced that water down the drain. So that should help the water drain down, so we know we're good. Just gonna put this back and mount this guy back in place. Hold on to that. Alright, will it stay? Okay. Let's find it. Make sure it lines up. It should be here. Alright. One more. Yep, lines up. Let's get in there. That's in, connect the two wires. Okay. Let's get this thing inside there. Try to get this in right. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see. So push it and try to hang it on the clip. Weird angle how they did it, to be honest with you, but right there. See, it's holding.
put the 4 screws back. All right. Wow, this got back up. Cool. Okay, so I'm looking at it now. The wires, if you guys remember, went through here. And they just had it in this little opening. That's not the way it's supposed to be. There's supposed to be a BX cable. This motor was replaced at some point. Has to go in here. All right, I got one of these little squeeze connectors. I'm gonna run the wire through. I mean, at least it's something. All right, put some tie wraps on there, a little something, then it goes through that connector. Listen, it's better than it was before. Put new wire nuts. The ones that were there were giant. It's like these giant ones. I could see it for multiple wires, but not for, you know, 2 little wires like this. So connections are made. Everything's up there. I'm gonna turn the power on. And what I'm gonna do is test the 3 speeds, make sure the 3 speeds are correct, and that we basically don't have noise. Cool. High speed. Sounds quiet. A little surprised because that blade is broken. Once that happens, the blade kind of gets off balance and we start hearing noise. Alright. Well, I went to low. I hear it. Quiet. Medium. It's a little louder, but it's quiet, so it rose up. And high. And that's louder, rose up. Alright. We're good. Alright, so I tested all that heater and stuff because if that thing was bad, I'm gonna have to pull out this whole I'm gonna have to pull out this whole thing again, and I'm not trying to get involved with that. Alright, close this up, turn off the power. I'm gonna start putting covers back, pretty much put this thing back and this cover up, and then we'll do a little final test on the machine. Oh, right there. Pulling 8 amps on that heater right now. Alright. So we know that's going, everything's nice and quiet. You see that gap, right? So the filter is here. Look at this big gap. A lot of dirt is going through. I can actually see the filter through here. We'll cover that up. It's all about the little things in life, tell me not. Alright, because it was the point of that filter of getting dust all the way through. We're just going to keep running a few tests, check the heating and cooling for this season. This was quite some work, but it was completely necessary. But as far as this right now, we're going to wrap this one up here. If anyone found this video interesting or helpful, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe as I come out with new videos every week. And I'll catch you all next time.